So now we're moving into qualifying. How do we qualify the people we meet? I'm going to give you two different layers or levels of qualifying. The first is the simplest. Always ask them about themselves first. Why do we do that? Keith, why do we want to ask about them first?
Well, not only does it help me with my pitch to them, right, but it also just gives me an idea of what their background is. You know, who
Yeah,
they know,
and what if
they
their
know, what they
background
can
is
do for me.
yeah, and what if
Yeah.
their background's like totally backwards? Maybe you want to get the hell out of there, excuse yourself and go to the bathroom, or say, I appreciate, meeting you. I mean, be nice, don't be rude, make a friend, but you don't want to spend too much time talking to the wrong person at an event. So be a great listener, have some questions prepared, and they can start with the very simple, well, what brings you here today? Or have you been a member of this group for a long time? I like to ask that question because let's say it's Nina and I ask her about Meta Provisor. Have you been a member of Provisors for long? And she goes, oh, I've been a member for a few years. I actually run the lawyer thing. Just knowing that, I can see like, okay, here's someone that is nice. Here's someone that knows a lot of people, that's involved in this associate in this group. Maybe she could introduce me around. Like if we're meeting at a bar, like for an after hours, maybe Nina like knows enough people. Then I could say, well, look, I'm new. Do you think, there's a few lawyers that here that I could meet? Oh yeah, let me introduce you around. So now she has something to do. I have something to do. And she's going to introduce me to a few people versus me walking around haphazardly. Okay. So qualify each person you meet. And the simplest way is to rate them as an A, B, or C. Nina?
I also think you're missing one of the points of asking someone about themselves. You are showing interest in them, which instantly boosts their like of you.
Yes.
And people like to talk about themselves.
Yes. So always start there, and that happens. And again, you're going to understand right away, qualified, not qualified, middle of the road, and they're going to like you because you're doing the asking, they're doing the talking. People like to talk, to Nina's point. Okay. So Mike, let's play the game. You meet me, and I jump right in when I hear that you're a family attorney, and I start talking about my cousin who's got terrible marital issues and is just in the worst situation and all that. You may not want to run away from me because I could be handing you a perfect client. Okay. So you might rate me as an A, or you might think of me as someone who may be a good connector, or in this situation, or maybe I have the marital issue. Okay. So that would be an A. What about if I'm a financial planner and I work with high net worth individuals and I've been in the business for 10 years, I'm really well connected? Where would I be, A, B, or C, Mike?
At that point, probably a B.
Yeah, I could be an A or a B. I could be an A
depending.
strategic partner potentially, or a B in the sense that I'm not a prospect, but I am someone that could be a really good strategic partner. You can define what the A, B, and C is for you, but if you see that you identify that I'm a C, I'm a local school teacher, and I've only been doing it a year. I'm fresh out of college. I don't even know what I'm doing at this event. Okay, well, maybe you want to mark me as a C and move on. Okay, I'm not really in the wheelhouse. A stronger way to qualify is to use the acronym TALENT. I'd like you guys to sort of either write this down, memorize it, review it after today, because this is something I came up with that really helps to isolate. Is somebody a serious strategic? Do you want to invest an hour with them or not? Or as you're investing an hour, do you want to meet again? This could take 10 minutes. This could take 2 hours. But I think if you can put these 5 points together, it's going to help you evaluate who's going to be a good strategic partner or not. So number one is trust. If you're meeting someone and they don't seem trustworthy, they immediately start bad-mouthing other people in the room. They are I'm talking to you, Paul, okay? But as I'm talking to you, I'm looking around at everybody else that I'd rather meet than you. You might feel like this person's kind of not, it's kind of sketchy, or not really, interested, or is just seems a little slimy. If I try to sell you at a networking event and try to push my card on you, you get the gist. So here's the best one. We agree to meet for lunch. I reschedule with you once, I reschedule with you twice, I no-show you. What does that tell you about trust? Am I trustworthy? What's your definition of trustworthy as it relates to networking, Ryan? What would you say defines trust in networking?
And networking is somebody who's actually going to listen and respond to your specific inquiries, actually show you the same level of respect that, you know, you're showing them.
Yep. And I'm going to take it one step further, Ryan. It's someone that commits to something and follows through with something. If somebody, it's like that Seinfeld with the car reservation, that you take the reservation, but you got to keep the reservation. Same thing with commitments. People have no problem taking commitments all over the place, or saying that, oh, Mike, I've got a great connection for you, and Steve, I got a great connection for you, but they never follow through. That to me is a breaking of trust. Okay. So I'm very careful about trust and seeing how people play ball to identify if they're real or not. The second one is authority. Can you refer someone who's an absolute hack? Can you refer someone that has no experience in their space, Paul? Right? So you want to refer me as a coach, but I just started my business a week ago. I don't have any clients. And my last job was I worked at an oil change place, but I want to coach people and coach lawyers. What's my authority? All right, I have none. Provisors networking group is very clear about this. We're looking for people that are authorities in their space. They have time in their space. We don't want to bring in people that have no experience. Okay, so authority is really important. I met a guy once who was a website for lawyers guy, and I took him to lunch. Nice as could be, super nice guy. But then I asked him, what law firms have you worked with? And he said, well, you know, I keep confidentiality. I'm not able to share that information. Do you have any examples of law firms that you've worked with? You can take out their name and just give me an examples of what you did for them. Well, again, that falls under the guy had never done a legal website. He was using me to get into legal. Okay. I figured that out. It didn't take me too long. Okay. But that broke our trust. It demonstrated he wasn't an authority. And if he had just been upfront with me, I probably would have helped the guy, but I never saw him again and no one else did either. Okay. Because I killed him and left him in a ditch. All right. Moving along. Likability. Do you want to work with someone that you think is a disgusting pig? Probably not. So if you meet someone and they're just not likable to you, are they going to be likable to your clients? Are they going to be likable to other people in your network? Probably not. If you're going to be in a long-term relationship with someone, you're going to want to be someone that you like. So this may seem simple, but I think it's important for you guys as you're meeting new people to put them through the talent to understand that they meet all these criteria. Okay. The next two are less important, but still important. The fourth one is network. Does the person have a network? It is very difficult for someone to refer you if they don't have a network to draw from. So Steve, you meet me. I am an attorney that does tons and tons of real estate law, but I don't do any construction work. Okay. But you find out in talking with me that all the work I do is handed to me by my partners. I sit at a desk all day. I crank out, you know, the reports and I crank out the work, the billable hour, and that's really it. Am I likely to refer you versus someone who's out there hustling to get business and has 50 or 100 of his or her own clients?
No.
Right? Pretty straightforward. So identifying someone's network could be another trigger to whether this is someone you want to get in deeper involved with. Okay. And then the last one is top player. So Steve, same example, different situation. I am the guy who runs my own firm. We do real estate. We don't do construction law. And I've got 100 of my own clients and I'm the rainmaker at my firm. Am I someone you want to network with?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys understand if it's someone that you feel is trustworthy, is an authority in their space, likable, has a network, and they're a go-getter, they're out there in the muck and mire, those are going to be some basic level qualifiers.